Hi, hello everyone, and welcome to this YouTube channel called as UPSC Edge. So this is Nishan Najmuddin, your educator in academy. I'm an economist, teacher, entrepreneur, and YouTuber, having 6 years of teaching experience. So now in this particular course, guys, we're going to discuss onto the topic as to top MCQs of the day for UPSC Prelims 2020. Now this will be conducted on a daily basis, and this is lecture number 2, guys, wherein another set of MCQs with a detailed explanation, that is a 360-degree coverage of the concepts will be done in this particular course. So the whole point is you'll be able to do a quick revision of all what you've studied on a daily basis with much of ease. And second important benefit is that the method of approach called as the method of KEC developed by me, that is the method of keyword technique, elimination technique and comparison technique, will be taught by me all throughout the session. So now no matter whatever question is given to you for UPSC, you will be able to crack that using this wonderful amazing method of approach called as KEC, along with the certain tips and tricks which I teach you. That is the advantage of taking this top MCQs of the day course by me. So the daily current affairs questions which is very important for the UPSC perspective will be discussed in this particular video. So as you all know, I'm also one of the top plus faculty in an academy. So I do take a lot of plus classes. So you can follow me for the free classes, that is the special classes, which I conduct daily at 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. on 1000 MCQ series and 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. on varied topics. So far I was doing India Yearbook MCQs, and now currently I've started with Yojana MCQs. So for more quality sessions, you can follow me there as well. The link is given in the chat box. Similarly, this is the schedule of my YouTube link. And regarding subscription, if you want to subscribe for my plus courses and also get the benefits of plus course of other faculties and come in the batches, very simple. Go for subscription, either for 6 months, 1 year or 2 year. There are a lot of discounts, guys. Apart from that, when you use my referral code UPSC Edge, which is the name of this YouTube channel, you will get up to 20% discount, not just 10%. 10% using this code, an extra 10% that is when in an academy when you watch my free special live class. Okay, there is something called as credit points which gets added up. So redeeming that also you will get some discount. So up to 20% you're getting extra discount, guys, just by using my referral code and by watching my classes at an academy, the free classes. So don't wait, go ahead with subscription. And for any queries and doubts and all, feel free to contact me via my Telegram channel called as Nishan Najmuddin at An Academy for UPSC. The link is given in the description box. You can just go there and click. So not only for subscription queries, apart from that, the updates of all my sessions, be it YouTube plus platform of an academy, and also for the PDF of all these sessions, do follow me there. Okay. So I hope it is clear for you people. And to begin with, guys, this is lecture number 2. So now, in this particular session, guys, the first topic of discussion is consider the following statements with respect to Apollo missions. First one tells it is the NASA's first unmanned mission to the moon. Look at the keyword unmanned mission. Second one, it aimed to carry out a scientific exploration of the moon. So which of these statements given is correct? So that is the whole point. So now applying the method of KEC, guys, the first keyword to be identified in any question is the correct or the incorrect statements. Okay, so now it is the correct statement. Perfect. Now what is the next keyword? The next keyword is with regard to Apollo missions. From the term Apollo, it has something to do with moon again. So both first and second statement talks about moon. And we all know that yes, basically for exploration of moon only such kind of missions will be taking place. But do you think it is NASA's first unmanned or manned mission? That is the next question. Of course, it is connected to moon. Both these statements have a connection. But now the next keyword that makes you understand, okay, there is some sort of differences is with regard to the keyword NASA's first unmanned mission. So thus if you see, guys, there is no matching of the keyword Apollo and unmanned, and that is why you are eliminating that. And finally, what is the meaning? The meaning is that the answer is option number B. Only the second one is correct. And thus if you see, this particular mission called as Apollo mission, it marks the 51st anniversary of Apollo 11 lunar landing. So more than 50 years, guys. It's a great thing, right? And now this particular program called as Apollo, that was designed basically to land humans on the moon and bring them safely back to Earth, by whom, guys? None other than the United States. So how can we say that Apollo is an unmanned mission? Definitely incorrect. It's a manned mission. It is actually Apollo 8 was the first Apollo mission to go around the moon, and Apollo 11 was man's first landing on moon. You understand? So because of that keyword only, the first statement happens to be incorrect. And now this particular mission, guys, what they do, they expected to carry out a program for scientific exploration of the moon, that is starting to do a lot of research with regard to the discovery of moon. and also to develop a human capability to work in the so-called lunar environment. So now when you talk about NASA, guys, the next important thing which you have to keep in mind is with regard to JAXA. What is that JAXA? Japan's Space Exploration Research Center. Then you have ISRO, then you have ESA. What is that? European Space Exploration, right? So these are the connected topics based on which you may get the questions for your UPSC under science and tech perspective, science and technology perspective. Take care. So kindly when you make your mind maps, please note these points as well and do the revision. So when I take an MCQ CD for you, I try to connect the points. The reason is because there will be a long-term memory retention of all what you've studied, because you're able to recall what you've studied. And when you start studying with connection, believe me, my young officers, you will be able to understand the concepts in depth without forgetting them. So it is like automatically you are doing a revision by seeing the words that are connected. You got it? So try learning like that. And this is what I teach in the free special life class and the plus class at Unacademy as well. That's why I keep telling you guys to come to Unacademy platform to follow me. Now, the next question is, consider the following statements with respect to NatGrid. What is that? National Intelligence Grid. First one tells it is an advanced web-based monitoring system to efficiently manage the electricity data across India. Second one, it works based on GPRS technology. For what? For accurate bill readings, catalyzing a pan-India movement. Look at the keyword, pan-India movement towards energy efficiency. So from the keyword National Intelligence Grid, we know yes, national means for the entire country. So yes, it could be a pan-India movement. But do you think it is based on GPRS technology or some other technology? Think. And the first one talks about managing the electricity data. And again, you have a keyword called as energy efficiency. So yes, they are kind of matching, right? And now you have to identify the right answer. Whether option number A tells only one, B 2, C both 1 and 2, and D neither 1 or 2. So which one do you think is the right answer, guys? And the answer for your 7th question is option number D. Neither 1 or 2 statements are correct, because the question is about the NatGrid. It is not about energy efficiency or renewable energy or about electricity. So very, very easy to understand that both are wrong. And thus, if you see this particular National Intelligence Grid, guys, they have signed a MOU. What is that? Memorandum of Understanding. With whom? With none other than your NCRB, National Crime Records Bureau. The reason is because they've signed an MOU to access all the centralized online information or database on all the FIR, First Information Report, and stolen vehicles. For that particular purpose only a NatGrid is put forward. It has nothing to do with your electricity or your energy efficiency. There is no matching at all. That is why this statement is wrong. That is why the answer is option number D. And now this particular NatGrid, what is it all about? It is nothing but it is having an access to the information or the database that links around 14,000 police stations, because they are basically focusing on this FIR and stolen vehicles data to recover them. So that is why they are having a link, around 14,000 police stations. And this NatGrid, they also made a point to set up track of any terror suspect and prevent terrorist attacks with real-time data. And this real-time data is only possible through this NatGrid facility. And from the keyword NatGrid, guys, National Intelligence Grid, do you think it is connected to electricity or energy efficiency? Definitely no. Practically, if you think there is no such connection. So very easy to understand that, intelligence and electricity, there is no connection. So you can easily eliminate both the options. Take care. Now, moving on to the next question is, consider the following statements with respect to fish cryo banks. So now has an amazing question, guys, called as fish cryo banks. First one tells, it is to facilitate all-time availability of fish sperms of desired species to fish farmers. Second one, it is a collaborative effort, matlab joint effort, of National Fisheries Development Board and the National Bureau of Fish Genetic Resources. So think and give the right answer. Option A tells only 1, B 2, C both 1 and 2, and D tells neither 1 or 2. So what is the keyword, guys? As always, the keyword in the question is to identify the correct statement. And now, which means that 95% of your silly mistake is avoided. Hadn't the keyword was to identify the incorrect statement, that again, if you didn't notice that, there are more chances for you to assume as if it is a correct statement, because in UPSC majority will be based on identify the correct statement. Very few questions or in between they can ask you like incorrect statement. So now you have to be very careful while reading the question, otherwise silly mistakes can happen. That is why I always focus you people to read the first keyword and then go for the keyword in the question, which talks about fish cryobanks. Now look at the keyword fish, next cryobanks. So do you think guys both are correct or any one can be wrong? And the answer is option number C. Both 1 and 2 is absolutely correct. Yes, if you see from the keyword fish cryobanks, banks means not the other one. It talks about the availability of fish. Okay, the fish farming. So now fish farmers and fish cryobanks, yes, they are connected. And second one, guys, obviously for such kind of fish cryobanks and to support the fish farmers and fish cultivation, you need to have a support from the National Fisheries Development, because we all know that this fishing is connected to which economy? Blue economy. And now this is one of the hit list topic for UPSC. Many questions in the 6 p.m. session which I've done for you in Unacademy free classes we have discussed, right? Because you can connect this to the blue economy, to the global fish production, because the country India is doing amazingly well with regard to what? With global fish production, and currently we rank number 2 in the global economy. And now out of that, if you see, the state of Gujarat is doing amazingly well, guys, for inland fisheries. There is something called as inland fisheries. Again, you can start connecting that point as well, because all these are important hit list topic for UPSC. When you make your mind maps and micro notes, please include these points and do the revision. Okay. Now, talking about the fish cryobanks, what is it? Actually, it is set up by the government, okay, in different parts of the country. Why? Because through this kind of fish cryobanks, they want to facilitate all-time availability. Look at the keyword all-time. That is not only one specific season, but every time of the year. Regarding what? The availability of fish sperms of the desired species to particular fish farmers, the ones who engage in fish farming. And now this particular fish cryobanks, that will be the first of such initiative in the entire global world. And as far as the country India is concerned, the National Fisheries Development Board, in association with your National Bureau of Fish General Resources, they are the ones who took up the responsibility to establish these banks called as fish cryobanks. And now what they will do? Actually, this particular scheme, guys, of the government, they will start addressing all the critical gaps exclusively with regard to the production of fishes and the productivity, then with regard to the modernization, quality, etc., and thereby establishing what? A robust fisheries management framework and fishermen's welfare. So for the increase in the production of fish, because we have a lot of potential in becoming the world's #1 fish production country, and also now when we start exporting, what happens? Connect this to your economics now, this environment perspective. Now when you start connecting to economics, I can tell you that with regard to export, we'll be able to earn more, because when a country starts exporting more foreign currencies comes to your country than importing, right? So you can even focus on that perspective. The next thing is automatically the farmers who are engaged in fishing, that is fish farmers, their living standard improves, and automatically the agriculture sector, which consists of the allied activities like fish farming also, their community also slowly improves. At the end of the day, they are contributing to the growth and development of the economy. So this is how you should study, guys, via the connection points. Take care. Now the next question is, which of the following is not true with respect to India's Cycles for Change challenge, which was seen in news recently? What is the keyword? India's Cycles for Change challenge. So now first one tells, it aims to inspire and support Indian cities to quickly implement cycling friendly initiative in response to COVID-19. So one of the hot topic of discussion, because it is based on the COVID-19 pandemic. Second one, it is an initiative of Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs along with Smart Cities Mission. Again, the next keyword which you can easily identify is the second point. And third one, the challenge is currently open only to capital cities of states and UTs, and details none of the above. So which one do you think would be the answer? India's Cycle for Change. So option number 1 and 2, yeah, more or less they talk about cycling there, but I think one is more having a more of connection. But do you think one is the answer? Matlab A is the answer? And now the time is up, guys, and the answer for the 9th question is option number C. It is C, not 1 and 2, guys, but rather C. Basically the challenge is nothing but to support the Indian cities to quickly implement the cycling friendly initiatives. Only this was launched. And now why is the answer C, guys? You may think that, ma'am, how can answer be C? It should either be A or B, and now there is no given codes. But let me tell you, my young officers, applying the method of KAC, what is the keyword in the question? Which is not true. Matlab, you have to identify the incorrect statement, not the correct statement. Did you understand? That is why the answer is C. Because if you see the first and second one, they are having a connection to the keyword cycling, but they happen to be the correct statement. But the third one is not at all connected to the keyword in the question, that is Cycles for Change challenge. That is why the answer happens to be C. And thus, if you see, this particular India Cycle for Challenge is basically For what? It is basically to inspire and support the Indian cities, guys, so that they'll be able to quickly implement this cycling friendly initiative in response to this pandemic called as COVID-19. And of course, the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, along with Smart City Mission and your ITDP, that is Institute for Transportation and Development Policy. They are the one who brought this challenge called as India Cycles for Change challenge. Okay. And now, why is the third one wrong? The third one is again wrong because of the keyword only. And now let me remind you the method of UPSC tricks. Under the tricks, guys, there is something called as extreme words, as I keep telling you every now and then. Less like vowels in your English, A, E, I, O, U. In UPSC, the extreme words are like all, only, whole, never, etc. So when you have such kind of words, now 95% of chance is there for that statement to be incorrect. Actually, people say 100%, but I say 95%. The reason is because there are situations where, in spite of having the extreme keyword like only and all, the statements could be correct. For that, you have to apply the method of comparison with the above statements to understand whether that statement is right or not wrong, in spite of having the extreme word, as per the rule of MCQs. So now, because of the keyword only, guys, again, India cycles for change. India means the entire states are coming into consideration, not only one particular state or city, right? So how can we say it is open only to capital cities of states and UTs? Absolutely nonsense. What about the other cities? So now practically, if you see, the sentence does not make a sense. And the next thing is the keyword only. Matlab, the extreme word only enable you to understand that it could be eliminated. You understood the trick. That is why the third one is wrong. Actually, this particular challenge, it is open not only to capital cities, but rather to all the cities, guys, under the mission called as Smart City Missions. And also the capital cities of states, UTs and all cities with more than 5 lakh population. Because the key word in the question is India for Cycle Challenge. So for the entire country as a whole. And now this particular challenge, guys, they also aim for what? To help all the cities to have a better connection with their citizens, as well as the experts to develop what? A unified or a single vision to promote none other than cycling. Because there are so many benefits associated with that, right? We all know that, the health benefits, etc. So that is the reason why they want to promote it. Take care. I hope this question is very clear to you and you understood the tricks and tips in this question. And now, moving on, the 10th question of today's discussion is, consider the following statements with respect to Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. Again, this is one of the hit list topic because it comes under energy. So either based on renewable energy or non-renewable energy, you can get a question for UPSC. You may get a question. First one tells, it lays down the technical standard for the construction and operation of pipeline and infrastructure projects related to what? Downstream petroleum and natural gas sector. Second one, it ensures the display of information about the maximum retail prices fixed by whom? The entity for consumers at retail outlets. Think and give the right answer. And now your option number A tells only 1, B2, C both 1 and 2, and D tells neither 1 or 2. So now the key word in the question, of course, you have to identify the correct statement. But now there is something called as PNGRB. Do you think both these statements are connected? And now the second statement talks about maximum retail price. Is it maximum or minimum? Think. And the answer for your 10th question of today's discussion is option number C. Both 1 and 2 statements are perfectly correct with regard to your Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. Thus, if you see this particular board now, the government has proposed for a unified gas price system, and thus taking into consideration that current affairs perspective, the tariff for transportation of gas, they are set by none other than your PNGRB, and that has been done separately for each pipeline based on the assumptions of volume of the gas transported. Based on that, the tariff or the tax will be imposed by whom? By the PNGRB. And now why this proposal, guys? This proposal is a part of an effort to boost the share of natural gas, because we all know the importance of this natural gas, which is a non-renewable source of energy, right? So now basically to boost the share of this natural gas which is getting depleted in India's energy basket from around 6% currently, 25% by 2030 only, this initiative is taken forward. Just see, guys, we have only 6% of it left. So by 2030, another 10 years, at least by 25%, we want to increase the amount of this natural gas, the share of that. So for that particular purpose only, your PNGRB, they came up with this particular proposal for a unified gas priced system. And now, talking about your PNGRB, little information, it was constituted under whom? Not the central or state government, rather, it was under the Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board Act of 2006, which means that since 2006 we have this board called as Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. And now what do they do? What is your responsibility, guys? Very simple. They lay down all the technical standards or rules and regulations for the construction and operation of what? Of the pipeline and infrastructure projects. And now these projects, guys, they should be absolutely related to the downstream petroleum and natural gas sector. Only with regard to that they will lay down the guidelines. Otherwise there is no need for that. So they are very specific, as the name suggests, petroleum and natural gas. So based on that particular infrastructure and pipeline projects only they are concerned. Take care. And thus they also make a point of ensuring the display or showcasing what? The data or information regarding the maximum retail prices. And now these retail prices, we know that they are fixed by entities. So yes, your PNGRB, they also shows the information regarding the maximum, the level up to which the retail prices are fixed by entity for consumers at what? At retail outlets, because consumers get all these things from retail outlets only now, all these things. So they also show the information regarding that. So this is all about your Petroleum and Natural Gas Regulatory Board. And in the current affairs context, it was with regard to the proposal for fixing a unified gas price system, that is with regard to the tariff or the taxation for transportation of gas. In that context only I have asked you this question. Okay. And kindly note this third point also, that is 6%, 25% and the year 2030. All these are important. So when you make a mind map, kindly make a mind map of non-renewable energy sources, then renewable energy sources, BEE, Bureau of Energy Efficiency, then solar energy, solar rooftop projects, etc., etc. Why? Because all these are connected to energy, either renewable or non-renewable, and they are important or a hit list and the hit list topics for UPSC. So now when you do a revision of all these connected topics, automatically it will enable you to have a long-term memory retention as well. I hope it is very clear for all of you. So any doubts, guys, please feel free to contact me via the comment box. Put your feedbacks there. You can connect me via the comment box and also via Telegram channel. The link of that is given in the chat box. Okay. So yeah, the winding up of quote of the day for my students is: challenges are what makes life interesting, and overcoming them is what makes life meaningful. That is true, guys. I know that you all are engaged in your so-called dream of becoming an IAS officer. Now, these are the challenges which you face in your life. Now, solving this MCQ series also, take it as a challenge. So now when you start overcoming that, start solving the right answers, start kind of fighting every ways to get get the right answers. Believe me, you start understanding, come on, whatever you're doing has a meaning in it. So take in the very optimistic manner and face your life and your goals with the right optimistic vision. So thank you so much, my young officers. So this is the schedule of my free live class in Unacademy platform. You can just go through. And also once again reminding you people to use my referral code UPSCH and to get a subscription of up to 20% for the Unacademy Plus platform. So bye-bye. Thank you so much, my young officers. Don't forget to like the video if you like it, and also put your valuable feedbacks, and also subscribe to the channel and keep sharing this to as many as possible. So stay tuned for the part 3 of this top 1000 MCQ series, which is on the way. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Jai Hind.